do a first in program history, you know it's special. It's a big deal to all of us. We know it doesn't get us anything other than good tea time, number one seed. We got to earn it from this point forward. But we have such a long season. A lot of people don't realize golf is fall and spring, and they both count the same. So to do it over such a long season, again, we weren't just good in the fall. We weren't just good in the spring. We were pretty consistent throughout the year. Tells you a lot about this team.
Michael said, it felt like not much can phase y'all anymore, just with the unique stuff that y'all have gone through. How do you feel about the team? In a sport that mental toughness is kind of required.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've been thrown some haymakers over the last year, and really going back to the NCAA tournament, to SECs a year ago, and the NCAA tournament a year ago. We see what can happen out there. And I said at the time it wasn't a whole lot of fun going through it, but I think and hope that made us stronger. And listen, just looking forward to next week. The weather looks terrible down there, and so there's probably going to be a modified format. Maybe have to play 36 holes, one day, and that's not normal. But like we talked to our guys about today, we have to be prepared for that. Any obstacle and adversity, which every team's going to have. And again, once we get down to Tallahassee, we're not going to be the only ones that are going to battle the weather. We just have to handle that a little bit better than other teams.
You're familiar down there, obviously, and y'all played down there and had success. What do you like about that course and what it does for your team and their strengths?
Yeah, we played in their tournament a year ago and then the previous year, so we have some familiarity with the course. Anytime you can stay on the same type of grass, Bermuda grass that we're used to here, that's a big deal. And with regionals, you can get sent anywhere. So I think we were pretty fortunate in that regard. And in terms of the golf course, I'd say it's a pretty big ballpark, and we're a pretty long team. We drive it straight as well, so there's going to be a big premium with hitting fairways down there. And again, we still have to go out and play well, but I like the draw.
You brought up the uncertainty of the weather and how that could kind of be an interesting factor. I guess, how do you not let that be something that they worry about, and I guess how do you prepare them mentally for those sorts of things that they can't control?
Yeah, that's probably the hardest part, but we've played in bad weather throughout this year, and we've fought through those conditions, as a lot of other teams have. So we just preach it throughout the year, and you hope that by this point in the year that they are used to it. But again, it's something we did talk about today, and we will talk about as we lead up to it. Just be prepared for the uncertainty, because again, weather's not going to be just bad for us. It's probably going to be a challenge for everybody. So let's just handle it better than they do.
You've put together good teams, good individual players throughout your years here. What about this team is special?
Yeah, we've never been a number one seed, so I think it starts there. I think that tells you everything that we need to know with this team. They have a lot of talent. They have bought in. Guys have improved. It hasn't been just Mike. It certainly has started with Mike. He's probably been our most consistent player, but it can be any week. It can be, you saw Tom Fisher get his first win, tied Mike a few weeks back at Mississippi State's event. So again, we are so deep 1 through 5 that I think that's the key. And this time of year, whether it be with regionals and then once we get out to California for finals, you're going to need 5 guys that are playing solid golf, and you're going to need to be able to lean on any 5 of those guys.
How much does chemistry matter in golf?
A lot of people would argue that it doesn't matter a ton. I would argue that it does. We just spend so much time on the road with each other, and you're in such tight quarters. We talked to our guys yesterday. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be together a lot, right? And we're probably going to get on each other's nerves, and just like family and brothers do. But this group is great. They get along great. They're fun on the road. I think off the golf course, they do a pretty good job of being able to disconnect from whether we had a good day, whether we had a bad day. To be able to go, okay, let's breathe a little bit, enjoy our time away from the golf course, energize yourselves for the next day. And again, that's going to be really important this time of year.